Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle, aka The Ignited Teacher, and what I do on this channel is I help math teachers to effectively manage their classrooms and to increase student achievement. So today's video is a vlog video, and I'm going to share my experiences with hybrid teaching. You know, I thought that teaching at home virtually was difficult, but making a transition from virtual teaching to this thing called hybrid teaching, where the students are in person and online, can cause some anxiety and cause a teacher like myself, who has been teaching for 20 years, and I would say that I'm not an expert with technology, but I get around tech really well, kind of cringe and adjust and readjust. So when we were transitioning back to face-to-face, I really didn't know what to expect. I knew that a lot of my students, I surveyed them, and I knew a lot of them were not going to come back face-to-face. But there was quite a few that said that they were going to show up face-to-face, and most of them stayed virtually, which I was totally fine with. But what I did not expect is the level of adjusting and readjusting for technology. I tell you, I have used so many different things to see how it would work with this whole teaching in person and teaching online. And I found out that there's no happy place. There's not even a happy medium. And I say that because normally we can find some things that actually work well, you know, we can adjust and cut things out, but that's not the case with this hybrid thing, because there are some things that work really well in person. There are some things that really work well for virtually. There's no happy medium. And as hard as some companies have tried to make it work, it's just not working. So because it's not working, I found a couple of things that helped me keep my sanity, because teachers, and myself included, we're used to methodically doing certain things, and I've been teaching for a long time. And one of the things that, as just a practice, I try to switch things up, you know, and make them better each year. So that kind of helped this year. But I've been using Nearpod for a long time, and Nearpod has been a lifesaver for me. My district purchased Pear Deck. Pear Deck has nothing on Nearpod. And because I'm a math intervention teacher, I found a way to use their whiteboard and the draw function. It has helped me teach my students a lot better because they have a share function. So if you're not familiar with Nearpod, there's this draw part. You can make your slides from Google Slide or PowerPoint or what have you, where you can draw on them. And I have an Apple Pencil, and some of the kids, they use their fingers. Well, I create slides and add the manipulatives, or whether it be a grid or some centimeter grid paper on there, and have the kids write on it. And I actually deliver my lesson the same way as well. But when I have the students work independently, I can actually see what they're doing. So when I notice that they may be veering off track, what I do is I actually share what I've done, which I have to log in as myself from my iPad. Now I'm telling you, that's why I said there's no happy medium. So I log in from my iPad into Nearpod as a student. And what I do is share my work with them and then let them work again. And I have found that this has been the best method. There is no other way that I have found that actually works in that way. And it has boosted my students' participation because it kind of gets me close to that I do, we do part. And the kids are working together and I can correct their work while they're doing it. Now, you're probably saying, well, what are the kids that are in person doing? Everybody's online. And that's one of the things that you just can't get around. We use Microsoft Teams and all of my students stay online. And that's it. And it made more sense. I don't use paper. Some of the kids use paper to write stuff down. I don't pass out worksheets. The worksheets are uploaded into on a slide. I change them, either I scan them in, change them to a JPEG image and upload them to Google Slides and then upload it to Nearpod. And that's one way that I've found that has been efficient. Now, some people will say, well, I have to use paper. Well, I mean, it's based on what works for you. But I found that this hybrid thing, paper doesn't work because the kids in virtual land don't have any paper. So I've tried to keep things as consistent as possible in the classroom as well as virtually. Really, I just call it virtual classroom teaching. You just happen to be there, but everybody's on Microsoft Teams and they're in the classroom just like the kids are at home. I just happen to be there. And also it helps with this shift. You know, we're going to be on Microsoft Teams until the end of the school year. And we've had grade levels go into quarantine. Our football team went into quarantine. So it's disruptive. So to keep some normalcy, I keep all my students on Teams. Now, that's one platform that has helped me. But the other platform is Explain Everything. Now, you probably don't know what Explain Everything. There's a blog post on my website where I talk about how Explain Everything can help you to deliver your virtual math lessons. Well, one of the problems that I was having was that I really couldn't use manipulatives and move them around like I wanted to, but Explain Everything solved that problem for me. So I have an iPad and I bought this iPad years ago and I liked it because I was making videos for my students when I was flipping my classroom. So it's a 12-inch iPad. And what Explain Everything does is it allows me to project, and it works wonders. It integrates with Microsoft Teams. You can broadcast your lesson right to Microsoft Teams from Explain Everything. And what it does is it allows me to have manipulatives and I can move them around. And I can't do that in Nearpod, if you can see that, because I know they have a glare on it. But I really, really like Explain Everything. And I like it so much that I purchased a subscription to it, which is very, very cheap. It's like $6 a month. And I really couldn't, I just said, you know, for $84 a year, I'll take it to the price that I paid for that Sanity. It's real cheap because this has been a lifesaver. I feel like I am being productive, you know, so we were talking about the distributive property. And because I'm an intervention teacher, I have to use manipulatives. And what I like about this whiteboard function is that the kids can collaborate. I can invite them in and they can move the manipulatives around. Also, it has, you know, you can write on it, as you can see the writing here. But I really like Explain Everything, and it has helped me so much. It really has. It has helped, you know, my students with their engagement, because a lot of my English language learners, they were tapping out on me. And if you don't know what tapping out means, it means that they were basically missing in action or they would log in and not participate. So it has helped with the participation and gives some normalcy to hybrid and that virtual learning, and made it easier for me to do, with the students and to teach. But hybrid is a beast. It really is. And I know for elementary teachers, probably the little ones, it's a lot more difficult. I'm fortunate I have high school students, but trying to find a routine, which that's what teaching is. We have our classroom set up based on routines and procedures, and to not have a routine or procedure in place, I was literally dying. I really was. And I'm not going to sit up here and fake and bake, because it was too much. And adjusting, and some things were working, like Padlet. I started out with Padlet with my CNN 10, and that worked some, but it wasn't enough. And I found that delivering these lessons is very, very important, not very important, but it has become much doable. Now, is it perfect? Absolutely not, but it's doable with Explain Everything in Nearpod, and helping my students engage and being a part of my lesson. So I hope that these two platforms are something that you can either get your administration to purchase, or if you're using it, you can check out my video on not Explain Everything, but on Nearpod, how to teach math using Nearpod. But I will in the future start some videos on Explain Everything, because it's an awesome platform. And I love what the creators have done. They have created an EDU plan so that it's accessible and affordable for teachers. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Leave a comment in the comment section if you want to know more about Explain Everything, and I'll see you all in my next video.